Hello, my name is Alistair Gordon and I'm a member of Cullybackey Elim, and I just want to share my testimony with you. Well, I was privileged to be brought up in a Christian home and to be sent to this church, or taken to it. Although during my school years I would never really have counted it a privilege to have to go to church and listen to a sermon on a Sunday. I always thought people who could play football and do their own thing on a Sunday were much more privileged than I was. But I suppose that was my life really. I knew the way of salvation. I knew I needed to be saved, but I always wanted my own way in life as well, like so many people. I suppose through teens and 20s, that was my life. I was always being, if you like, pulled in two different directions. I knew what was right. I knew what I needed to do for salvation, but I always wanted my own way. And it wasn't until my late 20s when I actually, completely surrendered my life to God and became a Christian. And it was I suppose a bit like the prodigal, where I had wandered and drifted away from church and from God, and it was just through circumstances in my life where, just like the prodigal, I came to myself, and one night in my bedroom I bowed my knee and I surrendered my life to God. And there was always a verse that had always resonated with me all down through the years of church, and it was the words of Jesus in Luke 23, or Luke 9 verse 23, where Jesus says, "If any man will come after me, let him first deny himself, take up his cross and follow me." And that was something which I suppose I was never really prepared to do, was to deny self. I always knew there was a cost to following Jesus. I know salvation is free, but there's always a cost to following Jesus. And I never was really prepared to pay that cost, to pay the price. And, there's a verse in Jeremiah 29:13 that says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with your whole heart." And I suppose that's something else which I had never really wholeheartedly sought God. But yet, on the 16th of August, I bowed my knee and I surrendered my life to God. I was on my own. There were no preachers, nobody else with me. And I didn't feel any different. There were no blinding lights, no. But I can say that my life changed from then on. And God gives you different wants and different desires in your life. And, I didn't want to go to church, but after that, I did want to go to church. I didn't want to read the Bible, but I read the Bible through cover to cover inside a year. And, I wouldn't have wanted to be around Christians, but I did want to have fellowship then with Christians. And God changes your life, and He gives you different wants, different desires, things that you think are that you wouldn't want. God changes your life. And, there's a verse in Jeremiah again, Jeremiah 20:11. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And I can testify to the truth of that there, to the goodness of God, a God who never leaves you and never forsakes you through all the ups and downs of life. All your trials and your tests in life. God who never leaves you or forsakes you. And looking back at my life now, I realise how privileged I am that God ever saw fit to save me. You know, when I realise I wasted so many years without God, and a life lived without God is really just wasted, no matter how much you achieve. You know, there's a chorus of an old hymn that we used to sing in Cullybackey there, and it says, "I'm only a sinner saved by grace. Only a sinner saved by grace. This is my story, this is my song. I'm only a sinner saved by grace." And you know, that's all I am, just a sinner saved by grace. Nobody special, just a farmer saved by God's grace, not deserving of anything, but yet God saw fit to save me. Even somebody who had spurned God's grace for years, yet God saved me. I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope it'll be a blessing to you. So thank you for watching this video, and God bless.